Welcome to the I Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Doveston. Thank you for being here with me for our weekly I Ching forecast for the week commencing the 6th of January 2025. Our first full-blown week into January 2025. And of course, if you've not yet done so, there's the annual forecast episode. There's the monthly for January, okay, for us to work with what our attention is for the whole of the month. And here we are at the first weekly. And so last week we had attention to details, trying not to be the bird that flies too high. We don't want to be Icarus. We want to be the little chickens, okay, picking at the ground, sorting out the details. We had 4 changing lines, lots going on, lots of warnings around not going too high, not being overreaching in our consciousness, in our planning, in our thinking, paying attention to what's in front of us in the here and now, plus some other interesting advice around who we can reach out to for help. And then the kind of opposite energy in a way of like not flying too high, being a chicken, is then Hexagram 1, which is be the eagle. Okay, so 1 down, 1 up. So we had to finish off the details before we could tap into the new start, the new beginning, the new energy, perhaps just connecting us to the newness, the wonderful ritual of the ticking over of the clock into the new year as we celebrate turning over into the new year and working with a new energy. Anything came up for you? All right, the last kind of week of last year, do share. All right, so this week, let's get into it. What are we working with this week? Our first hexagram is hexagram 16, enthusiasm. I think this is fantastic. I don't know about you, but this week is the start of my work year. Okay, I have a team returning from holiday, all right, and they might be dragging their heels a little bit, missing being able to be at home and do their own thing, okay, and have lots of time. And now they're back at work. Now I'm back at work. Same problem, okay, and having to mobilize everyone with energy, get everyone excited, get everyone moving. Working with a kind of like the rah-rah of the start of the year and everyone's back from holidays and what were you up to? Okay, so the idea of enthusiasm is building up motivation. We can see it as building up a battery, okay? If you are wanting to work with this particular hexagram in meditation, for example, you can go along to Insight Timer. I have a meditation dedicated to this particular hexagram. I will link it in somewhere, and you can go and work with this concept of charging up your battery using meditation. And it's the idea of like if we've got a battery with a huge capacity and we charge it up with energy, with motivation, with power, okay, we can then, when we are ready, when we are spontaneously in need of this energy, we can plug into the battery and go. There's something important about being able to motivate and mobilize people with this hexagram, and it is a fantastic energy for us to start the working year, if it is indeed the start of your working year. What it does, it motivates and excites us and builds an enthusiastic energy around what it is we need to do. Just like when you put on your favorite piece of music, you just cannot help yourself. You just start moving. Okay, so music is a very powerful connection to this hexagram as well, and it's about that kind of like anti-gravity, I call it, that music brings, of just firing us up and getting us all into the zone, into the mood of the new year. That's what we need to bring into our lives. Whether you have a team and your task is to bring that to them, is to create the space for that enthusiasm to build, whether it's for you stepping into your own year, needing to tap into getting excited, okay, about what it is that you need to do, that is what this week is drawing us into. Wherever you feel, okay, unable to get that excitement, there's some work to unpack there, okay. Now we do have one changing line in the 5th position, and this line does say to us that part of this energy we're working with is that there is some challenge to us being able to do this, okay, to get enthusiastic. Okay, enthusiasm is blocked. Why do we feel blocked? Why do we not feel the excitement? Okay, the I Ching says it's because in a particular area of our lives, our work, our businesses, There is so much pressure. Okay. So constant pressure has this dampening effect on enthusiasm. You know you want to mobilize and excite, but there's a part of you that's like, oh, I don't know if I could do it. The pressure's too much. It's wearing me down. Okay, so whatever pressure you're in, use these lines that come up and the hexagrams that come up to allow you to reflect and contemplate on where you feel constant pressure, okay, and where you feel unable to tap into enthusiasm, into self-motivation, right? Self-motivation is this hexagram 16. Where you are struggling with those things, unpack those areas, okay? Unpack where you feel, oh, okay, too much stress. Okay, I really have some ideas for myself around understanding that where we are feeling those stress points is going to be hard to feel a natural enthusiasm. But we are also leaders of people, whether it's just in our families, and sometimes we have to fake it till you make it. Sometimes your team needs you to be enthusiastic and mobile and energized and jumping with the music, not, with too much stress. Okay, we can do this. All right, so what is our second hexagram? Seeing as we only have one changing line, that gives us a second relating hexagram, a transforming hexagram, a victory hexagram, a second flow that we are working with this week, is also one that has immense energy. Hexagram 45, amassing. This, from many times that this has come up on the channel, is all about clouds and crowds. Being the performer on the stage in front of crowds, okay, big group of people. And they're all there chanting your name, chanting the song, okay. We have music again here. We had hexagram 16, the music, the energy, getting you motivated. And here we have hexagram 45, which is all about mobilizing the crowd, tapping into the cloud of ideas. Okay, this is about lead generation, lots of people, new campaigns, reaching through communication, finding new people to sell to engage with, to make friends with, mobilizing resources, tapping into the harvesting energy of this hexagram. Harvesting is not just about harvesting the wheat, harvesting the bounty, although I affirm that's what it is for you this week. It's also about harvesting the resources and the opportunities and the contacts and the future leads that will continue to build upon what you are building. So, in your personal life, this is all about reaching out into new networks, reaching out to new people, reaching out to bigger groups of people. Maybe it's just going to a concert, okay, being in a big group of people, all right. It has a wonderful energy to it, and it also can be challenging. But this hexagram says, as long as you're in a space where if you are the person on the stage, you have a crystal clear idea of what you want your crowd to know and understand, and you clarify that and you maintain control over this crowd, you can create magic. Okay. When the crowd goes wild because there's lack of control, okay, too much wildness and the crowd just loses it. Okay, you can see what happens at a concert. Everyone starts pushing, and you have all kinds of problems and people are squashed. Okay, it's really unpleasant then. Okay, a controlled crowd, all right? Don't build them up into a frenzy. Okay, but mobilize the group of people, the opportunities that are around you. And perhaps part of the year, this is if you are an entrepreneur or you're in a environment where accessing a large group of people, a large group of leads, a large group of online connections is important to what you are trying to do for the year. This energy this week allows you to come up with some really great ideas of how to do that and to mobilize those ideas into value. Okay. Crowds and clouds. Okay. Tapping into the rain clouds, the rain of energy that you can draw in. All right. Become the rainmaker. It's a wonderful harvesting energy with hexagram 45. So let's do it. Right at the beginning of the year, there's no time to waste. The I Ching says, get busy. Build the enthusiasm. Fake it till you make it. If you don't feel very excited because you feel so pressurized, find a way of mobilizing the people around you, get them going, and tap into the cloud. Social media, networking, big groups of people, lead generation, resource accumulation, big ideas, communities, collectives. Think big. That's what the week is asking us to focus on. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon as we start getting stuck into the January weeklies, all right? Making our way through them, finding our way of growing through the month of January and coming to the other side of the month, making our way towards our goals, being stronger, mastering the forces around us, becoming better human beings, kinder, compassionate, and focused and value-adding in everything we do. That sounds like a lot to do in January, so let's get busy. Until then, take care.